Am I the asshole for not waking my husband up for his 5 a.m. walk? So for the past month, my 36 husband, 39, has waking up at 5 every night to have a walk. These walks would take about 2 hours. Side note to mention that this new, he's not trying to lose weight, pretty thin. He's not athletic by nature nor has sports interests or hobbies. In fact, he hated doing any type of sport. I'm happy for him since it's an overall positive thing. But yesterday, he came home in the evening after working for long hours, then stayed up late playing with his phone. I went to bed at 10 after getting done with the mess and everything. I woke up by him yelling at me at 7 a.m. asking me why I didn't wake him up for his 5 a.m. walk. He said he missed it and I'm responsible for that. I was so confused. I said that first of all, he always wakes up by setting his alarm. Why should I be expected to wake him up this time? He yelled that he forgot to set his alarm. I said, so what? It's no big deal, it's not like he missed an important meeting or something, but he got more angry and said that those walks help improve his health and restore his energy and help him feel better. I made a comment about how missing one walk won't hurt, but he unloaded on yelling about how I was trying to prevent him from doing his hobby for some unknown reason. I told him he was sorely mistaken, even though I admit that those daily 5 a.m. walks around the Veterans Park are weird, but also his reaction? I really thought it was over the top. He stormed off and went to shower saying I ruined his entire day. When he got out he started avoiding and ignoring me. Even when I talked to him directly. He went to work and refused to respond to my calls. Really, I'm at a loss, like maybe it was something I said about his walks. But I really don't know. He's sulking non-stop as of now and I'm literally about to lose my mind. Am I the asshole? Perhaps I'm crazy, but tomorrow I'd wake up at 5 a.m. as well. Just to see where exactly he goes on those morning walks. But again, perhaps I'm crazy. ETA. Personally, I don't think it's cheating, as it doesn't explain the desperation and anger. The stakes seem to be higher, where missing his walk has unpleasant consequences. Of course it's possible he's very neurotic about his new routine and you caught him at a bad moment, but his response is suspicious enough to dig a little deeper. Also forgot the judgment, not the asshole. Whilst I wouldn't have initially found the daily walks odd, his reaction definitely is. Wake him up at 5 a.m. every day for the next week and go walking with him to make up for not waking him up today. Bet he comes up with an excuse why you can't join him, not the asshole. Not the asshole, and I'm not convinced he's just going for a walk. We're gonna need an update after you find out what he's really doing at 5 a.m. Not the asshole. I am with everyone else so far. This isn't a 2-hour walk. He is either doing drugs or meeting someone for sex. No one who is super tired and forgot to set an alarm would be that mad about missing a walk, unless something is happening on that walk. My gut feeling says he's up to something. I think the reason he is so upset is because he missed a planned rendezvous with someone he can't easily text or call. Follow him next time. Hopefully I am wrong. Am I the asshole for arguing with my husband's doctor and acting like a Karen because they wouldn't listen? Husband has a sore foot. No injury or medical condition that would explain the pain, but he hasn't been able to walk properly for about a week. Being the absolute pain in my ass that he is, he's refused to go to the doctors until today. Apparently he preferred to just pop paracetamol and complain to me. It's gotten progressively more swollen and misshapen looking, and today it's gone a funny color and he can't put any weight on it. So I called our GP, who has sent him to the walk-in clinic at our local hospital. We finally get seen and the doctor refused to even examine it. Told him without even looking at the foot that it was a sprain and he wasn't going to prescribe him any painkillers, so not to ask. Then he started demonstrating some kind of exercises that involved going up and down on tiptoes and flexing the toes. I asked if he would please just look, as it has gone nearly black in some spots and looks similar to how my wrist looked when I broke it a few years ago. He huffed at me and asked where my medical degree was from. It put my back up and I demanded to see another doctor or his senior. I was the asshole here because it wasn't me being treated, so I get he thought I was a pushy cow husband, wouldn't say boo to a goose in medical situations, and would have accepted the doctor's instructions without any questions about actually needing to be examined. Doctor left and we heard him outside the cubicle telling the senior doctor that they have a confrontational spouse who thinks her WebMD searching qualifies her to instruct real doctors how to practice medicine. He also states that he suspects my husband of exaggeration to get opiates. By the time the other doctor arrives, I'm seething and lay out exactly what went on and explained I only want someone to look at the foot before sending us away. He looks Q X-rays, an MRI. The good painkillers and a walking boot cast thing with potential to need surgery because he's got 7 stress fractures in that foot, probably from running. Admittedly worse than they needed to be because he didn't get any treatment when it first started to hurt. Second doctor and someone from the hospital admin come and apologize for the first doctor and ask if we want to make a formal complaint. So I did, because the outcome of his not listening to the patient or family could have been worse. Husband did not. Husband said later that the first doctor may get sacked because of me complaining and I should have left it because no real harm was done. Was it a nasshole move to complain? I don't usually have Karen tendencies, but he was just so patronizing and dismissive, and I kept thinking, what if it was a young mother with a sick baby and he dismissed that not everything would stand their ground and there could be really serious consequences. Edit. Thank you all for the comments and awards. I didn't expect this to go as mental as it did. I've shown hubby the post and he's starting to realize how serious it could have been and is going to email the admin guy we saw this afternoon. He gave us his contact details for my complaint. He's also agreed that delaying treatment the way he did was incredibly stupid and has decided to chase up the counseling referral with the GP so he will be less useless in future medical situations. Thankfully we were eventually given appropriate treatment and hopefully the follow-up will be positive. I'll stick an update on here if there's anything interesting to report. Once again, thanks for setting my mind at ease and sharing your opinions. Not the asshole. You were right to be insistent. The doctor was not doing his job. You did what you had to do. I'm going to add that your husband is a huge asshole here too. Not taking care of your health and making yourself a burden on your spouse is downright selfish. He needs a stern talking to. At very least, you need to stop enabling him. In the future, stop dealing with these instances. If he dares complain, call him out on the need to take care of himself and not be a burden on you. Not the asshole. Honestly, the doctor should get sacked. He totally dismissed yours and your husband's concerns. Progressive foot pain getting worse over time. Discoloration of the skin cannot bear weight on the foot. Husband as a runner. I think most medical personnel and laymen would agree that an actual physical examination of the foot was in order, which this guy didn't even bother to do. You were right to ask for another doctor. Good luck to your husband, I hope his healing goes well. Not the asshole. First, you are not being a Karen. Being a Karen is making something non-existent into an issue and/or being a jerk for no reason. Your husband's foot needed to be looked at and the fact that the first doc didn't is their fault, not yours. Not the asshole. The asshole doctor made a diagnosis without doing any diagnostic tests. He also made the assumption your husband was narc-seeking on top of the first error. He deserves every complaint you write about him, and that hopefully might prevent someone else from suffering at his unprofessional, incompetent hands. He broke his duty of care to his patient. If this is the States, I know many people that would sue over this and go for hospital bills being paid, pain and suffering, etc. Edit. Wanted to add, if it wasn't for your persistence and you advocating very strongly, rightfully so, for your husband, he would have continued to suffer. He needs to speak up for himself as well. You might not always be there to do it for him. First of all, there are about a dozen phrases in this post that I will use in my everyday life going forward, such as, pushy cow, and, wouldn't say boo to a goose. So thank you for that. Second of all, not the asshole. Partners advocate for their partners. Period. In any situation. And the first doctor was wrong. Wrong. Possibly with very serious and long-lasting consequences if you wouldn't have put your foot down and demanded quality care. He's not a good doctor. Good doctors listen. Good doctors advocate for their patients. Good doctors don't let their egos get in the way of providing quality care. And good doctors deserve to keep their jobs. If he is let go after this, I guarantee it's because he's had more than one complaint. Not the asshole. Doctors should listen to the patients and not assume they know what's going on. This doctor was ignoring 7 stress fractures. I wouldn't feel bad if he was sacked for this. Your husband may need surgery and this doctor was going to send him on his way. Am I the asshole for wearing a First General sash to my graduation against my dad's wife's wishes? Hi all. Longtime lurker but first-time poster. I, 27NB, am graduating from law school next weekend. As backstory, my parents are divorced and remarried. Things with my father's wife, Kelly, have always been tense. They got married when I was 16 and the long and the short of it is that I ended up moving back in with my mom because they had very loud intimate relations. Sorry. Not sure how explicit to be here, at night when I would be trying to study, sleep. Bluntly, Kelly is also someone who is very hard to like. She's abrasive and quite rude at times. We have never gotten along, but I have for the last 8 years tried harder to be nicer to her for the sake of my father. I went to law school 3 years ago and, at the time, Kelly was not very supportive of my decision and has commented on the fact that she didn't think I would actually see it through. Well, now I'm graduating. I have a great job. I'm really proud of myself because I really feel like I got here on my own hard work. Kelly has never introduced me to anyone nor assisted with my work. In fairness, I also in no way expected her to. Kelly used to be lawyer, she is not currently, but it's not really anything we have discussed due to not being close in the first place. Now that I am graduating, my law school gave the first general law students sashes to wear. My father called me today and I asked that I not wear this sash because Kelly is offended by it. She thinks that I do not consider her family, and I am also therefore not a first-generation lawyer. I got frustrated and told my dad that they're both welcome to not come if it offends her so much because I am wearing my General 1 sash. My dad got upset as well and essentially said that it's not a big deal to not wear the sash and my sash is invalid, due to Kelly being his wife, and thus my stepmother. We ended the phone call on a bad note. Am I the asshole for refusing to not wear my sash for Kelly? I have tried to be diplomatic with Kelly, and I worry this may be the wrong hill to die on. I understand that it's just one graduation, and I wonder if I'm making a big deal out of nothing. On the other hand, I'm really proud of myself. No one else in my family is a lawyer and I will be the first. So Reddit, am I the asshole? Edit. Fixed some typos. Sorry. Not the asshole. You better flaunt the fuck out of that sash. Wear it to every dinner or visit over to their house after the graduation. She doesn't get to claim you now. Not the asshole. Wear your sash. Your dad should be proud of your accomplishment, not trying to stifle it to placate his wife. His wife never helped you and was unsupportive. You lived with your mom. If it's not big of a deal to not wear it to please Kelly, then it's not big of a deal to wear it and Kelly can get over it. Tell them they are no longer invited. Celebrate with the people who supported you. Not the asshole. You wear your sash, and bask in the glory of years of hard work. Kelly is not a nice person. This day is not about her. She hasn't been supportive of you, and the fact is she isn't your mother. Not the asshole. Your mother and your father are not lawyers, so you're the first generation in your family of origin. End of story. If Kelly had been in your life since you were an infant and you considered her family, different matter. She's your dad's husband, not your mum, and you don't have a good relationship with her, and she hasn't helped you at all. Maybe you'd be more receptive if she had done those things instead of interrupting your homework with her screams in the night. Not the asshole. First general students have significant disadvantages in academia and some professions because of the mass of unspoken rules and social norms, and the preferences given to legacy students and nepotism. Did Kelly actively assist you in overcoming these obstacles? Didn't think so. You're first general and you did it under your own steam. She told you would fail, and now that you have succeeded, she wants to pretend that she helped you get your degree? WTF? Hell no. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for giving my niece sleeping pills and getting her addicted? For the last month, my 26 female niece, 8 female, was staying with me while my sister, 38 female, had an emergency to take care of. The first few nights were rough as expected. She couldn't fall asleep, and when she did, she'd wake up multiple times throughout the night. She was tired, I was tired. Just to experiment, I got some kids' vitamin C tablets and told her they were sleeping pills. And it worked like magic. She fell asleep instantly and slept through the night. For the rest of her stay with me, every time she couldn't sleep, I gave her a sleeping pill. 2 days ago, she went back to her parents and last night couldn't sleep and wanted the sleeping pills. I brought them over and my niece was able to fall asleep. My sister was livid. I tried explaining to her that they were just vitamin C pills, but my sister says that my niece is probably addicted now. That I'm an asshole because I didn't consult her before giving my niece medications. I do feel a little bad, especially seeing how upset this made my sister. But on the other hand, this isn't medication. I don't tell her about everything my niece eats. So am I the asshole here? Was this something I should have run by my sister first? Edit. For people saying vitamin C could still be dangerous. These were made for kids. I don't even know why they're a thing. They have about as much vitamin C as half an orange. Edit. For those saying I should have tried X, Y, Z. I did. So many things. I got the pills on day 5. Not the asshole. Come on, Even if she was addicted to these pills, which she is absolutely not, what's the actual harm? So she won't get scurvy. Great. Tell your sister to take a placebo chill pill. Edit. Crikey Moses. Thank you for the awards, kind Redditors. Not the asshole. Placebo effect FTW. I've given my kid her daily vitamin at night and told her it was her super magical gummy that will help her sleep and grow big and strong. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Not the asshole. As a mom, I would have been livid. Until I talked to you and you assured me they were vitamin C. Then I would have let her take them and tried to get to the root of her sleep issues, if that's still going. But you were giving her something she might need anyway that isn't addictive. It's just she's 8 and they had a placebo effect. And that's okay. Not the asshole like I'm not always into tricking kids, but what you did was completely harmless. I understand the initial anger, but after explaining that it's Vit C, I don't get it. You can't get addicted. You could have easily tricked her with anything: food, a story, a spell, chant or dance. ND it would have the same affect. Kids are gullible. Not the asshole. A placebo worked. The biggest issue I'd worry about is the daughter telling someone that she's been given sleeping pills. You need to tell her the truth so she doesn't repeat it. Who cares if she's addicted to vitamin C? They're pretty good. We eat the gummies. Now my dad got my little brother addicted to NyQuil. They'd both take a swig at night. That was wrong. Introducing the concept of medication as the go-to answer to a problem may cause an actual problem. It's the concept, not the actual vitamin C, that your sister is likely distraught over.